Jason Langwell is the executive director of the Rocket Mortgage Classic, coming off the heels of so much success in 2019. When you look back at what you had to do in putting this together as a first-time event, the success you had, and then all of the momentum building, how much have things changed since last year?
Well, you know, they've changed a lot in that we had to basically turn the event on its head and figure out, knowing that we were an event that was known for being such a great social event, we said, how do we not only be known as a great social event, but one that does social good? And so the focus and the change has been, how do we go about, instead of focusing on the experience on site, how do we focus on the community and the way that we can make an impact? And that is where we spent all of our time since March 13th, figuring out a way to do that through our new initiative.
Changing the course is the initiative. You're going to try to really make a big difference in this city. And you're going to do it with obviously drawing so much attention to the great golf that'll be played here. That's the first step. You're in charge of bringing in top golfers to this field, and you had a lot of buzz building. What was the process like in trying to get guys here after the tournament and the PGA really kind of shifted its schedule?
Well, the decision-making process changed a little bit in that they, the routing in the golf courses was similar to them. They knew they were going. From a family side of things, their families weren't coming with them. They had to factor that into the equation. And the schedule changed just a little bit. And so the ultimate process was going out and telling the same story about what a great experience we're going to have here, what a great golf course that we have for them. But ultimately, the decision for them is going to come down to, how's it going to fit ultimately with my family? Where do I think I can win? And for those that hadn't been here before, talking to other players to figure out what kind of golf course awaits me when I show up.
And Ricky Fowler said what he loved so much last year was that hearing from other guys how much they liked playing here. Did you get that sense after having a year under your belt?
It was hear that you got a great golf course, love the idea of playing some great Donald Ross greens, but it was also the experience. We had a number of players say, look, it was 15 minutes reverse commute from the Chinola Hotel, which is my favorite hotel on tour. And that's a big part of it for them. The golf course is the number one decision-making factor, but a close number two is, what type of a home is this place going to be for me for 7 days of the week?
I remember midway through, I think it was after the second round, when scores were really low last year, a storyline emerged from the outside. Well, scores are so low here. And you said, don't you love watching birdies? Because all the guys out here making the birdies like making them. When you go out and you're beating your wrists up on tour and you're trying to win a major at one over, and you come to a course like this where you can have some fun and compete maybe at making birdies, how much different is it for guys when they come here, and how much do they tell you about that?
Well, I think what they said about coming here was that, look, we had perfect weather like we have right now. It was sunny, there was zero wind, and that allowed them to keep the golf ball and control their spin and keep it on the proper distance and level. And that's what it is for Donald Ross greens. If you can keep the ball on the proper level, you can get after it. But what they also said coming into this year, they've talked a lot about, man, I was talking to Bubba Watson, who said, I can think of a couple shots that went wayward and bounced off a fan and landed 5 feet off the green that would have ended up 20 yards off the green. That's a very different up and down. And that's what I think you're going to see a lot through these first 4 events in ours, is that extra distance of being 10, 15, 20 more steps off the green complex. And that's going to be a very different outcome, I think, in terms of scoring.
I really look forward to what's coming up here. Jason, thanks for the time.
Thanks.